But to that, I say, screw that. You need to shine as bright as you possibly can. Life, like I said, is too short. What you're not changing, you are choosing. Your unique, curated life. No one has the exact same beautiful life that you have, so treat it like a unique, prized possession. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Are you guys surprised that I actually came back 1 week later like I said I would? Because I am. So if you are subscribed to my channel, you saw that last week I posted my 25th birthday vlog. A little late. My birthday was January 2nd. It's now what, February 11th, but hey, better now than never. Better later than never, I guess. I don't know. But this video right now is going to be right on theme with the 25th birthday vlog. This is going to be 25 things I've learned by 25. If you didn't know, when you turn 25, your frontal lobe is fully developed. There's a brain click, you know? You're entering like this other second phase of life, I guess. So it's a perfect time to reflect back on the things that I've learned and things I want to share with you guys. So let me not ramble too much and let's just get right into it. Alright, so I have the list here on my phone. 25 things I've learned by 25. I can't believe I'm 25, you guys. I was like leading up to my 25th birthday, I was like really excited because, you know, I'm a mom now. Things just feel different. I do feel the shift in my life and I feel like, okay, like things are rolling. They're rolling the way they're supposed to be. But okay, let me not ramble too much on this video because there's 25 things I gotta get to. So I'm gonna elaborate on them, but try not to elaborate too much so we don't want an hour-long video, okay? So first thing, 25 things I've learned by 25. No one is gonna do it for you. So this applies to everything that goes on in your life, whether it be eating good, working out, pursuing something. No one is gonna do it for you. No one's gonna drag you out of bed and take you to the gym. No one's gonna force a salad into your mouth and take away the chips. Like, no one is gonna do it for you. So I feel like the quicker we figure that one out, the better. Number 2, mindfulness helps with the day-to-day battles. So this one really does help me. Ever since I got introduced to mindfulness when I was around 18, I had a mentor. I was doing caregiving and she was really into these type of things and she taught me about it, and it really, like, it stuck with me to this day. Mindfulness, and that looks different from day to day. Like, say for example, you wake up and you start the day super ambitious and then something happens and it derails your whole day and your mood, and then you're starting to go down this spiraling negative path. Instead of doing that, well, while you're doing that, when you take that moment to be mindful, it really does help and be like, okay, what triggered me to upset me or get me in a mood? How do I want to react? What can I do different? How can I still make this day better? So just mindful check-ins, constantly asking yourself, like, why do I feel the way that I feel? Why am I reacting the way that I'm reacting? And how do I want to be better? Okay, number 3, learn to love every version of yourself. So this one is a big one because I feel like I'm at a phase right now where I can look back on other phases of my life. Like, say for example, like the phase where I was in college, the phase where I was traveling, the phase where I was partying, the phase where I was in a new relationship, like all these phases. And it's so easy for like this version today to criticize those past versions of myself and put those versions of myself down. But trust me, it's a lot better to love each and every one of those versions of yourself because they all do come with a lesson. They all do come with more wisdom and knowledge. So I came to a place where I can look at any part of my phase that, say I don't fully agree with what I was doing during those times, or my mentality is different present day, and I can still find like things that I love about each phase. And that's really important because it just ties in with loving yourself. Number 4, the importance of daily walks. So this is a really big one that has really helped me. I've been like really consistent with my walks now for a few months now. Like before that, it was like years off and on, but now like I've hit this like really good rhythm. And I think what helped me was like not being too hard on myself. Like if I miss a day, as long as I'm majority of my days doing a daily walk, that is super good for me. The mental health that it brings you is so good because the fresh air, the sunlight, being in nature, grounding, those things, like it is literally a proven science that it's gonna elevate your mood, more serotonin. So hit those daily walks, even if you're feeling like I don't want to go to the gym, or you don't have time to do like this crazy huge workout. Just daily walks will go a long way. Get your 10K steps a day. It's really, really, really good. Okay, number 5, you outgrow friendships as you evolve. So this is totally natural and normal. You have to think like, okay, you're at 25, so you went through a lot of change since then, from exiting high school and thinking you have a certain game plan in line for yourself, like I'm gonna go to college and then I'm gonna get this job and I'm gonna do that. And obviously some people, yeah, it works exactly how they planned it, but for most of us, you know, it doesn't work that way, and then God intervenes us and we go down this path and we end up finding out that this path is a lot better for us. But along that way, you're growing and changing so much. You can't expect that all friendships are gonna grow and evolve with you. So you outgrow friendships, and honestly, you have to look at it as a blessing, because you're gonna find your people. Sometimes people don't elevate and evolve with you on that same frequency, and it's really important to have like-minded people around you that are gonna have the same morals, the same goals, and you know. Anyways, number 6, less is more. So this is one I'm super proud of myself for having the realization and finally understanding less is more. And this one is a big shout out to my partner Idam, because he's definitely helped me realize less is more, and just really admiring your natural beauty, just your natural state. There's nothing more beautiful than that. Like less is more. Like, yeah, here and there I still wear my false lashes, but the false lashes that I wear, they're nowhere near as crazy and extra as they used to be before. They used to be so bold. My eyebrows, they used to be freaking thick, Sharpie caterpillar eyebrows. My hair, it was fried and blonde, and it was unnatural to what my natural hair is. Just less is more, whether that, it could be like how you dress as well. I found that you can cover up, like look at, I'm wearing a dress that goes all the way down to my ankles. It's a long sleeve, no cleavage showing, but it's still sexy. Like less is more. You can still be sexy without having to show your whole rack, your belly, your legs, and your ass. You know what I'm saying? So less is more, and it's a really good one that you learn once you start coming into the mid-20s era. Number 7, establishing and implementing boundaries is very important. Yes, 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 yes. Girls, set those boundaries, whether it's with your parents, whether it's with your partner, whether it's with your friends, your coworkers, your classmates, whatever. Setting those boundaries is really, really important, because it sets the tone of how people are going to treat you. When you set the standard and you're like, okay, this is what is acceptable to me, this is what I don't tolerate, people are going to recognize that, and then naturally they're going to fall to respect those boundaries. And another thing is, like, making boundaries is one thing, but you really have to implement those. Like, try not to fold. Like, you have to be really mentally strong, because it's so easy. Like, yeah, I'm gonna set a boundary. Like, I can't think of an example right now, but you set a boundary and it's so easy for someone to try to convince you to be like, oh, but this, oh, but that. No, implementing it means like you know what you want, and you're not folding, you're caving in for nothing. Own being feminine. So I pulled up something on Pinterest, and just to give you examples of what that looks like. So physically being more feminine, embracing your fluid motion, self-care, elegant attire, natural beauty, serene posture, gentle interactions, inner harmony for overall being. And then what that looks like mentally is being creative, showing compassion, expressing emotions. The feminine is all about emotions, so own those emotions. Stay receptive, practice patience, cultivate inner peace. So you want to really focus on that inner goddess, that divine feminine, because looking back, you know, from where I am now, 25, and I look back to my younger, like early 20s, for example, a lot of times, and I see this with a lot of young girls, is that you try to almost imitate that masculine that you're trying to impress and that you're trying to go after. And that is the wrong way to go about it, because when you just think about nature, like, there's a balance. There's masculine and feminine, and if you're masculine, you're going to attract feminine. If you're feminine, you're going to attract masculine. So I don't know, I just see that a lot, and it's like, not to say cringe, but I look at it and I'm like, no, what are you doing? Like, sometimes people try or girls in particular, young girls, they try really hard to really overemphasize that masculine and impress the masculine, whether that be the way they speak, their attitude, their body language, their interest, and it's just disingenuous to themselves. So my advice would be to own your feminine, flow in your natural state of femininity, and things are just gonna naturally flow to you, I promise. Number 9, romanticize your life. So I love this one. I feel like this is something that I've always naturally done since I was younger, is romanticize my life. Whether that be at night, I put candles on and I put vibey music and I'll write in my journal, or at night I like to put like my favorite show, and then I'll have a cute little snack, and then have my skincare routine going on at the same time. You really want to romanticize your life, taking those cute videos, those cute pictures, because babe, your life is the movie. It is the movie. You really got to just be in that moment and romanticize it, because your life is something beautiful to you know, experience. Oh, another example of romanticizing your life is like playing like bomb vibey music when you're cooking or when you're cleaning. Just things like that. Like, instead of living life on an average mundane frequency, like you could really romanticize it and be in a more happy vibration, you know? It's just better that way. I need water, all this talking. Number 10, daily gratitude goes a long way. So if you've been following me or subscribed to my channel, you see that I have my gratitude journals. I've been using gratitude journals for a long time. Even before that, I would just get you don't even specifically need a gratitude journal, just a piece of paper and write down a list of everything you're grateful for. Some people prefer doing it in the morning, first thing when they wake up. I personally, I like doing it at night, after I put my baby to sleep and the night is quiet, you know, dim lighting, and I'll just sit and I'll just really, because I like doing it at the end of the day, because you kind of replay your whole day and you're like, wow, I'm grateful for my walk, I'm grateful for the home cooked meal, I'm grateful for the smiles and compassion I felt today. Daily gratitude really goes a long way, because it goes deeper. If you want to talk about, if you want to get more spiritually into it, it's just the law of the universe. If you're putting out that you're grateful for this great thing, this great thing, this great thing, the universe naturally is going to give you more great things to be grateful for. So practice your daily gratitude and seriously see how everything changes for you. We're almost halfway already. Number 11, fuel yourself with positivity, mind, body, and soul. Yes, so diet isn't only what you eat, it's what you consume visually, auditory, energetically. Like, you just want to fill your mind, body, and soul positively all the time. Like, yeah, we have social media and it's so easy to spend hours on TikTok scrolling, doom scrolling they call it, or just watching like a trashy reality show, which I love. I love my Kardashians and I love my TikTok, but I do try to implement a healthy balance. Like, for example, if I'm cooking or I'm cleaning, I'll put like a productive playing podcast, like an educational podcast. I've been slacking with my reading, but you know, reading self-help books, just making sure that your entertainment or your leisure time isn't all just like going in vain. Basically, you want it to have purpose, you want it to have meaning, you want it to fill your cup even more. So that is a really important one. Obviously, you want to, you know, be mindful of like what you're consuming, like what you're eating needs to be healthy too. It's important for that to be healthy, but also what goes into your mind, body, and soul, all of them together. Okay, number 12, night rituals make for better mornings. So this one, personally for me, it does make a big impact, because if the night before I make sure the clothes are out of the dryer, or I make sure the dishes are done, or my outfit for the gym, for walking, working out, whatever, is ready the night before, my next day I'm gonna wake up more like, okay, like I'm ready for the day. Just like if I'm gonna sit down at the table at night and write my daily gratitude and, you know, start feeling productive, 9 times out of 10 that next day I'm gonna wake up like on that same vibe and frequency, like, okay, like I'm feeling put together, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling like I'm ready to make today like productive and count. So number 13, self-care needs to be prioritized. This is super important, especially I found now that I'm a mom that it's super hard. Like, I lost my sparkle for a little bit, I lost my pink, I lost myself, honestly. But going back into that habit of self-care really does change the game, whether that be a face mask at night really quick, or whether that be making sure you rest and taking a nap, going on a drive, listening to your music, taking a break from everything. Self-care is really important. I mean, the most important relationship is always with yourself. You're the one that goes to bed with yourself every day. You're the one that's in those inner thoughts on repeat every single day, so make sure you're taking care of yourself. Number 14, relationships are a lot of work, but the most important one is the one you have with yourself. So this kind of piggybacks on what I just said. So yes, so as you guys know, I have been in a relationship now. It's about to be 3 years, and I'll be honest, you know, it's normal. Relationships are hard, but the most important one is the one you have with yourself. I just found that when you're vibrating on a higher frequency and you're really investing in yourself and taking care of yourself and making yourself a priority, instead of like looking at the other way and like, you know, pointing out whatever, it always works out better when you're just worrying, like not worrying, but when you're really invested in yourself, like when you're really valuing the relationship you have within yourself. Like, how is my relationship when I look in the mirror? Like, what do I see? How am I speaking to myself? How am I like showing up for myself? Am I being productive? Am I being healthy? Those type of things. Because naturally, when you're really taking care of yourself, valuing yourself, loving yourself, trust me, your partner is gonna match that energy, and then it's gonna be the same. And then you guys kind of just feed off of each other. So always remember, most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself. Don't ever neglect that one. Number 15, being a mom changes you. Instead of resisting it, own it and level up into the next phase of your womanhood. Yes, 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 yes. Being a mom changes you. Let me just elaborate on that. It's funny because I just made a TikTok today, and it was talking about, if you only knew me before becoming a mom, then babe, you do not know me anymore. Because seriously, it changes everything. It changes the whole game. It changes the way that I eat. It changes the way that I dress, the way that I speak, the way that I do my makeup, my priorities, my boundaries, the time that I wake up. It changes everything. And sometimes, you know, there comes phases after having a baby, like you go through these inner thoughts of like FOMO, like, oh, I miss just being able to like easily like walk out the house and it be just super easy, or I wake up and I don't have to worry about anything. I can just lay in bed for an hour or whatever on my phone scrolling, and you can start thinking of all these things of like, oh, like I wish old parts of my old life. You know, it's normal to mourn the old version of yourself prior to becoming a mom, but what I strongly advise is just owning the change. Instead of resisting it, own it, level up, and own that next phase of womanhood, because it really is a beautiful thing, and it does, how do I say, it really does humble you, and it matures you in a different way being a mom, because it's just the most selfless act you could ever do. So just own it and go into it confidently, and welcome to the next phase of womanhood. Okay, number 16, trust and believe that it will all work out. I am a prime example of this one. Trust and believe it'll all work out. I can't sit here and tell you how many times in my life I thought it was supposed to run this course, and then it gets derailed, and I think it's the end of the world. And let me tell you, every single time I think it's the end of the world, that everything ends up working out better than I originally had planned or anticipated. So trust me when I say everything works out the way that it's supposed to be. Try not to stress it too much. Like, if I could tell my younger self that, I would be like, okay, just calm down. Things are not going to go as planned, but trust me when I say they're going to turn out even better. And sometimes it's hard to believe that, but you just have to keep the faith. 17, stop waiting to be happy. This one, it sounds so simple, but it's a lot harder than you think. Like, you really have to stop waiting to be happy. Oftentimes we always hear, once I have $20,000 in my bank account, I'll be happy. Once I can fit into these pair of jeans and I'm skinny, I'll be happy. Once I have this job, I'll be happy. Once I move to New York, I'll be happy. No, you cannot wait for happiness to come in a physical manifestation, because you're never gonna be fulfilled, because then it's always gonna be the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. My advice would be just find that happiness within, because that's the only place that it can genuinely, purely come from, is within. So don't wait for happiness. Find it now, whatever situation that you're living in. I promise you, if you really take the effort and the time to find where you can find happiness in that current situation, you will find it, and you'll be better off, because now when you get those other added things, that happiness remains. Whether those things get stripped from you, that happiness is going to be within. So don't wait to be happy, you guys. Life is way too short. Be happy right now, because the present, they call it a present for a reason. It's a present. 18, Show up as your best self always. Never dim your light to make others feel comfortable. Let me say that one again. Show up as your best self always. Never dim your light to make others feel comfortable. I know this is something that we all are guilty of sometimes. Like, we truly do dim our light because we know in the back of our mind we're making someone else feel comfortable. But to that, I say, screw that. You need to shine as bright as you possibly can. Life, like I said, is too short. You don't have time to dim your light here and there to tiptoe around other people to make them feel more comfortable. This looks different in many ways. I can just give you the first example that pops up in my head. If you're the one that always likes to get super dressed up, hair done, nails done, makeup done, whatever, and that's like part of who you are, because when you look good, you feel good, and it's so often we get those comments of like, oh, you're so extra, like, oh, like why are you always spending all that time to da. No, shine as bright as you can. Never let anyone dim your light. Just be that girl. Someone has to be that girl. You be that girl, you know? 19. This one slapped me across the face. This one, when I heard it, I couldn't unhear it, and it stuck with me, and it really did motivate me to change things that I wasn't happy with in my life. So this one, number 19. What you're not changing, you're choosing. I'm gonna say that again. I'm gonna say it closer. What you're not changing, you are choosing. So whether that be your weight, your financial situation, the cleanliness of your house, whatever, what you're not changing, you're choosing. So you don't have the opportunity and the chance to complain about, oh my God, I feel so fat right now, I can't fit into my jeans. Well, you're choosing that because you're not making the change, the conscious effort to change that, because we have the potential, we have the opportunity to change anything that we're not happy with. So whatever you're not changing, you're choosing, so get to changing. Number 20, you can't pour from an empty cup. So this one is super huge. Since I've become a mom, I realized that you can't pour from an empty cup. Yeah, no matter what, every single day we have to show up for our kids first and foremost before ourselves. But you want to make sure that you're not pouring from an empty cup, because then you won't have nothing to give. You have to make sure your mental is good. You have to make sure you're taking care of you. Just like when you're on an airplane, they always tell you for the oxygen mask, put your mask on first and then you can help the next person next to you. So this applies to everything else in life. Like, make sure you're taking care of you first before you try to help the next person. Because what I look like trying to help Sally over there with her relationship if my relationship isn't the best, you know what I'm saying? So you cannot pour from an empty cup. Make sure your cup is full first. Number 21, the early 20s is just a phase. Think long term. So this one is a huge one, because the first thing that pops into my head is I think of my tattoos. I think of these. What was I thinking? I think of like all my tattoos. I think of them and I'm like, oh my God, if I can tell my younger self that your early 20s are just a phase, think long term. Because I found, like, I'm at a place where whatever, I wish I didn't get my tattoos? Yes, but I still find beauty in them and I'm still confident with them on. But I wish I could have told my younger self, like, think long term. Is those tattoos that you're choosing to mark your body with, is that gonna match the aesthetic and the person that you wanna be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And I can tell you, speaking from experience, no, it's not. Like, yes, like my sleeve right here, that matched the era of that time when I was 21, 22, and it matched that persona I was trying to portray. But let me tell you, it does not match the person that I'm trying to be today and that I strive to be. So if I have any young girls watching this, like, your early 20s are just a phase, bro. Think long term. Like, I used to have my dermal pierced, my nose pierced. Like, if I can go back, I wouldn't have done any of those things. I would have told myself, think long term, because trust me, come mid 20s, late 20s, and then you think about your 30s and you're like, oh, that is not going to be cute, that is not going to match my aesthetic, that is not going to match my vibe. But hey, it is what it is. I found peace, but hopefully I can help someone else prevent the same mistake I did. All right, number 22, confidence is a superpower. I truly think confidence is a skill set, and it takes a lot of practicing, because for many years when I was younger, I was like very insecure, very shy. But over time, the more you practice pouring into your cup, and the more that you're like doing the self-care, the more that you're doing like the positive affirmations, you slowly start building yourself up, and then that confidence slowly starts to glow out of you. And let me tell you that it makes a difference when you walk into a room confident. People will match that same energy. So just keep reminding yourself of how great you are. Keep doing those like positive affirmations and believe that you are that girl. You can walk into any room, it doesn't matter, that you have the confidence. You're like, I used to always tell myself in my head, I'm cool, calm, and collected. I'm cool, calm, and collected. And that really does, it changes like just the energy and the vibe that you're flowing through life. Confidence. Always have your confidence. You know, head up, chest back, chin up, all the things. 23, be kind to yourself. Actively monitoring how you treat yourself. So this kind of piggybacks off the last one. It's so easy to like have those default thoughts of like, when you look in the mirror, oh, I'm ugly, oh, I have a double chin, or oh, I'm so stupid. Be really careful how you speak to yourself, because your body doesn't know the difference between a joke and when you're actually speaking things into existence. So really actively monitoring those thoughts is gonna make a big difference, because you'd be surprised how easily we say negative things about ourselves comparison to positive things. Like, you would never speak to a stranger the way that you speak to yourself, because sometimes we're like, wow, I am really mean to myself. So make sure you're actively monitoring those thoughts and exchanging those negative thought patterns with positive ones. 24, always believe in your potential no matter what. This is really big. So this is really big because life will humble you in many ways. You'll lose everything, gain it back again, lose everything. But one thing you always have to remember is your potential. That stays with you no matter what happens. Like, I just feel like life tests you to make sure, you know, you really got it. You really got heart to keep going after that resilience. You build character, you build resilience. So just please never forget your potential. It's really easy to like, sometimes we hear it from family members or from friends or partners or whatever, and those start to warp our beliefs about ourselves. But you have to like have a really strong, clear knowing of who you are, and just know, I am destined for greatness. I have all the potential in the world. I can do it. Just keep telling yourself those things. Okay, now for the last one, number 25, never compare yourself to anybody. You guys, we live in a society where it's super easy to compare ourselves to others. Social media, we wake up, first thing we go on is social media. Last thing before bed is social media. Social media, you know, it's horrible. We base our success and our popularity on likes, views, engagement, and things like that. So it's super easy to compare ourselves to other people that we see on social media. But let me tell you, you never know what those people are going on. You never know what those people are going through behind closed doors. You never know their inner battles. You just never know. Yeah, you see this profile and it looks like an amazing, beautiful life, but you just never know what those people are going through. So I always like to remember that song by J. Cole, Ain't a Life Than a Life That's Better Than Yours. Just focus on being happy and content with your unique curated life. No one has the exact same beautiful life that you have, so treat it like a unique prized possession. Never compare yourself to anybody, you guys, because you are your unique beautifulness all on your own. So don't look to the side, just focus on the one that's in front of you, and trust me, it works out better that way. But yeah, that is the 25 things I've learned by 25. I hope you guys like this. I tried not to talk too much into all of them. I was getting a little like foggy up here towards the end because all of this talking, but just take those 25 things and elaborate on each of them in your own way, however that resonates with you. I hope this video does help you. Specifically, I hope it helps like younger girls that are watching this video, because if I truly wish I could have heard a video like this in my early 20s. I probably would have saved myself a lot of mistakes. But you know, you live and you learn. That's how you get to this next stage where you're like, okay, I can reflect back and be like, okay, that wasn't too smart. I should have done this, don't do that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, don't forget to drop a comment down below, subscribe. I will be back next week with all the mommy content. I'm super excited to be back on YouTube. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much. Bye.
Bad little flex, she wanna know me.